Welcome along to Tracktalk. Great to have your company ahead of an 11 race card coming up this Sunday afternoon. Some very good racing indeed ahead of us here at the Singapore Turf Club. A Kranji Stakes A, which includes a lot of the big names. The likes of the Kranji Marwood and Minister will be stepping out once again, and so too the horse he managed to defeat the previous Lion City Cup winner in the shape of Limbs Lightning. Can he shoulder 59.5 kilos? It's a big impos coming up at race 7 this Sunday afternoon. But please say that Scott has joined me in the studio. And Scott, just having a look back on last week, we had the speedy Seller V win, strong and powerful, one in a thriller. The Al Rashid racing operation had a double with Dinar and Harmama, so it's all go here at Kranji.
Yeah, hello Nick and hello viewers. It's great to be here again for another episode of Track Talk. And yeah, like you said, it was a good day's racing last weekend, Nick, and I think this weekend's card's a very, very strong program ahead. So I'm looking forward to trying to find a couple of winners on a tough program, but there's going to be some great racing. That's 100% for sure. Yeah,
absolutely, it is. Always a guarantee. Good quality racing here at the Singapore Turf Club. Let's go through some of the details then to build this meeting up for you. And we'll start with the premierships so far here at the Singapore Turf Club. This is meeting 34. There aren't a great deal left, actually, if you really do boil it down. So things are just beginning to take shape now. Michael Clements and Mark Walker, they're having a really good stoush there, 48 to 46. Stephen Gray somewhere behind on 21, but a good year for the Kiwi. Hideyuki Takaoka on 20 winners along with Dan Ma. Dan Beasley, Jimmy Wong, Jurek, Lerner, Berzola and Scott all occupying the top 5. There's 10 wins between them there.
Yeah, it's a good title heating up for the jockey's title. Danny Beasley's riding in super form, and I think he's got some good rides this weekend to go a little bit better on that tally. And in the apprentices title, well, Hakim Kamrudin, he's just a man on fire, isn't he, Nick? He's riding in tremendous form, and I think he's going to ride a fair few more winners in the last few remaining meetings of the season.
He certainly can, that's for sure. So it really is all building up quite nicely, isn't it, ahead of this next fixture coming your way here from Kranji. Now, what racing we have got for you? We've got 11 races, as I say. Short course A in action, so the rail is in the true position for 5. We've got 6 on the poly track, so the majority there just on the artificial surface, but good action nevertheless. It is there we start, actually, on the poly track. We've got an opening race over 1,200 metres at Class 5 level. There's a look at the field calculation up at the top, Rosman Iskander. Good to see Vlad Jurek back in action. A couple of meetings off for him recently. Silent Force is his mount here. Northern Sun, he's been getting close but no cigar. He's drawn 5 for Jimmy Wong. He'll get back. Further down to Extra Win, the mare. Purring Crown is the mount of Troy C, who will have a break after this meeting. Super Power, Big Mary, Fight to Victory and Golden Win. Well, we're going to start, Scott, with Lucky Jinsha, who is a horse who's been in very good form recently. Super Power further down the field this day.
Yeah, he's a real trier, isn't he, Nick? He hasn't had a lot of luck in weeks gone by, and he doesn't get a good barrier again this weekend, which is very unfortunate for him, because I think he's a very live chance, and he's just always been trapped deeper and had to do it the hard way. So he's a big chance again, but he just needs a bit of luck with the barrier gods.
He does. Tim Fitzsimmons has got his team in pretty good form of recent times. So there's his track work there, carrying the Fitzsimmons livery, the white, red and blue, sported by Lucky Jinsha in that piece of work. In the last 10 meetings, Tim's had 6 winners from 73 runners. Here's Northern Sun running home powerfully again. This was 2 back though. He's run 4th recently. Both runs, though, have been good, Scott.
Yeah, he's very positive on the poly track, isn't he, Nick? He always likes to sort of settle back. Can miss a kick at times, but he really rattles home here. You can see a very nice run when he ran 3rd on this occasion. He was hitting the line probably better than anything, but just his run was left a little bit too late.
It was left a bit late. That was a big odds behind Fast and Fearless. He subsequently gone round at $35 in the race behind Star Shield when 4th. Of the others in the race, obviously Falcon Racing are well represented. They've also got Diamond Ring in here, but probably more notable is the top one, Calculation. First run in Class 5 grade. Donald Logan obviously has wasted no time in securing a good claimer. Yeah,
I think he's a very interesting runner. Obviously, you've got to really respect these runners when they run in Class 5 for the first time, and this one's no different, and his best runs all come on the poly track surface as well.
They certainly have. Anything else you'd like to include?
I think Easy Lights is a very interesting runner. Danny Beasley, he jumps on, and the last time he rode him was a winner in Open Maiden grade, so he's one to definitely look out for.
He is one to look out for. Easy Lights. Danny Beasley, our leading senior jockey, currently here at the Singapore Turf Club. Let's have a look at the selections for race number 1. I'm going Northern Sun here in the hope that he can run home well again. He's off a mark now of 46. He's run well off that mark, obviously 2 runs back, which we showed you. Plus his run last time was good off a point higher. Diamond Ring in for second. I think he could be a bit of value, this fellow. Don't give up on him. He's lightly raced. Lucky Ginsha and Silent Force. 6, 3, 4 and 5.
Yeah, I'm going with number 8, Easy Lights, Nick. I just like he's well placed in this race, and I like the fact that Danny Beasley jumps on him. So I'll put him ahead of number 4, Lucky Ginger, being very honest in his last 2 runs. Just needs a lot of luck from the barrier. Northern Sun in for third. Number 6 will get back and hit the line strongly. He looks well placed in this run. And number 1, Calculation, the class dropper. You must respect these sort of runners in this grade. My numbers for race 1, 8, 4, 6 and 1.
Yeah, that is the opener on the poly track. Race 2 is a Class 5 over 1.25 miles, 2,000 metres, worth $30,000 in total prize money. Bebop up at the top. Glory Shine is Amanda Johnson. Dradas, their Resurgence. Pisca Pisca. Mark Lerner takes the ride on her. Allegro, Danny Beasley on board. Tony's Love will... I'll have a look at his track work shortly. Kingpin is Stephen Gray's only runner on the card, interestingly enough. Marcus Antonius in good form. You can take out Clarton Supreme has been scratched. And that is a look at the field for race 2. We're going to start with some track work.
Yeah, here's Resurgence, just having a nice piece of work, pretty similar to what we saw from Lucky Ginger earlier on in the segment. And look, he can stay the distance of 2,000 metres. I don't think there's any doubt about that at all. Just go off his run 2 starts ago when he ran second to Blue Chip, and I think he presents a good chance here. Here is Tony's Love on the inside, working with King Louis, who goes around later on in the program. He's another one from the Ricardo Lagrange stable. He's run some pretty nice races. He looks well placed in this race to definitely finish in the top 3.
He does, doesn't he? I think he's certainly a chance for sure. And working there with King Louis, obviously, nice bit of track work. Obviously, King Louis, a very useful type. Here's Marcus Antonius. We're showing you his most recent run when second to Imma. It was course and distance, short course A as well, so the full course and distance.
Yeah, it was a very nice run this day. Imma really came out of the gates and surprised everyone with this run. And look, Marcus Antonius, I believe, was he an emergency on the day, or did he get a start?
I think it was the emergency.
Yeah, and he gained the start. So, and then there was a lot of support for him too. He was actually, he was well backed, $138 into 79. So there was support on the day, and I think he's a big player in this event.
He certainly is, isn't he, Marcus Antonius? He's not without some sort of chance. Obviously, a 2,000 metre race is a distance we don't really use all that often here at the Singapore Turf Club. I mentioned Kingpin is Stephen Gray's only runner on the programme. I actually think he's not without some sort of chance. Now, I know his form figures don't read all that impressively, 0 from 10, no placings, but I went back and had a look, Scott, at his run last time in the Imma race. You would have seen him poking up the inside there.
Yep.
He actually was doing all his best work in the finish, and it was the second quickest sectional. He's not a quick horse, and we have had rain this week as well. We must just make mention of that. There's been a lot of rain, so I think if this ground perhaps turns up yielding, it might just play to a horse like him, because he's got a touch of the slows, and if 1 or 2 don't stay, he possibly can, I think.
Yeah, these Class 5 staying races, you know, I think it's very tempo related too. You know, it might suit one horse if they go quick out in front, or if they walk, it might just suit a leader. So it is a tricky race, but Stephen Gray's got the one runner. He'll be hoping to leave with one winner, won't he? He
certainly will be indeed. Obviously, Hideyuki Takaoka's got a strong hand as well. In the last 12 months, he's actually trained 15 winners on the all-weather track. And an 8 on the turf, so he's got a much better hit rate over distance on the poly, and we know how well he fares under those sort of conditions. So perhaps Pisca Pisca one you could look to in that. That's the way I was looking. Scott's got him in as well, Pisca Pisca. I did just think perhaps she was the one to side with here. Good run in the Imma race last time. Marcus Antonius goes in for second. Tony's Love, and I've thrown this Kingpin in as well. He'd be knockout odds, I think, but he might just run a race. 6, 12, 10, 11. Yeah,
I'm with number 12, Marcus Antonius from the Mark Walker stable. He looks very well placed to go one better from his last start. I'll put in Allegro for second. I thought he was a very interesting runner here for the David Cox stable. Danny Beasley in his saddle should get a lovely run from barrier 2, probably midfield thereabouts. And number 6, Pisca Pisca, she's very honest at her last couple. She's not too far away from the action. And number 10, Tony's Love, not much separating them two. I'll put him in for 4th. 12, 7, 6 and 10 for race number 2.
Moving on to the third race on the programme. This is the Class 4 race, Division 2 over 1,200 metres. Lim's Passion up at the top. Street Grass Success, Vlad Jurek rides that one. Valorous has been in good form at the trials. So too Tomcat has been racing okay. Further down to the likes of Charger. And over the page there you can see Papaya's back a trip. Super Max, Brutus, Charming Diamond, Amazing Breeze, Walwasan, Despacito, 15, 16, 17, all emergencies. Well, Big Fortune is the first horse we're going to go with some track work here. Tell us a bit more about him, Scott.
Yeah, he's a very interesting runner, isn't he, Nick? He comes here from the USA, formerly trained by Wesley Ward, and he's a winner at Gulfstream Park, and obviously that's some pretty good racing in the USA, Nick. It does hold some form.
He won a maiden there, didn't he?
Over 1,000 metres, yes.
Over 1,000 metres. Here's Valorous, who's been trialling quite well. Bombed out last time completely, but was lame.
Yeah, he had excuses, and look, we know this horse has a lot of ability, and I'm really looking forward to seeing when he can bring it back out onto the racetrack. Because look, he's a 6-time winner in Australia in his own right, but he just hasn't been able to get over the line first here in Australia, in Singapore.
Yeah, John, I think he's a hard horse to really get a handle on. He's a bit inconsistent for mine, but I can see he can run well. Tomcat represents the combination of Michael Clements, the champion trainer, and Louis Beausolan in this. They've got an 18% strike rate, Scott, in the last 12 months. So, it's healthy, and we know Louis obviously rides a lot for them.
Yeah, he's a big part of the success there at the Michael Clements stable. And look, I've got a bit of time for this horse. I think he's an out-and-out runner. You can really see in his track work during the week. He's a real fierce-going horse, and just look at him here as he crosses the finish line. He opens that mouth up and he wants to go again. And I see this every time I have a look at his track work. He works like that all the time.
He does indeed, doesn't he? He's quite a fierce little going type of horse, quite a racy type, and I feel he suits Louis Beausolan's style, actually, a bit vigorous and a bit sort of, hustle and bustle, and yeah, he does seem to go well for Louis. So he's been well backed on his last start. Will there be money for him again? I think quite possibly. Sacred Judgment is another horse who I think there'll be good money for this weekend. He's in very good form. Ms. Jolin Siao comes in for the ride. Beat Zygarde last time. Look, I think the form's questionable. But it's a good piece of form nevertheless. And crucially, Scott, he's got some very good wet track form.
He does. This was a very good win that day. Look, he had a light weight on his back. He carried 49.5 kilos on this occasion, which that's a massive advantage. And I think it's pretty smart putting Geraldine on for this race. So just takes a little bit more weight off when they get put up in the ratings.
Here's Mr. Big Brother. He's got new colours actually this week, hasn't he, Mr. Big Brother? Racing for the Shengzhen stable. Look, he's really got to build on this, hasn't he?
He does. Look, he returned with a very, very good strong win first up after he came back from a bleeding attack, and he was very dominant in that. And here during the week we see Charger doing a bit of work on the inside, and he's galloping with the group-winning stablemate of Fame Star, who we see go around later on in the Crangier.
Yeah, I really like this horse here, Charger. I'm glad we can show you his track work because I didn't think he worked too badly. I mean, on his recent runs, I went back and had a look at that Hadir race last time. He started slowly. Jimmy Wong had to bustle him up, and I think he didn't want to be there, in particular. The handicap has actually left him on 57, so he obviously perhaps thinks it was a half-decent run that didn't really warrant a drop in points. But he's interesting for mine because he seems to have been around a long time. They've always campaigned him out of his grade, haven't they, in Class 3 a lot of the time, and he's actually won one. So I think you could give him another chance with Rosman booked.
I think he's a big player, and obviously Rosman knows him well. He's won on him twice, and his track and distance record's good. He's got 6 wins here in Singapore, and 4 of them have come at this track and distance. So you might just be on a little smoky there with Charger, Nick.
Well, that was sort of the thinking. He could be a little bit of value. I'm just having a quick look. Exceed Natural has gone back to Letitia Dragon.
Yeah, a few little stable swaps here, which it's something we're pretty used to here in Singapore. It's a small community of trainers, so horses do shift, move back and forth, and obviously in the care of Letitia, so she knows him well. They
do indeed. Won a Jumbo Jet Trophy a couple of years ago. Provided Simon Cock with his first group race win, beating Baraz on that occasion, and the superstar that was War Fair back in 4th place there. Let's have a look at the selections for this race. I'm going with Charger over Street Cry Success, who we haven't really mentioned as much, but we did see him in that Sacred Judgment race last time out. He got held up towards the 250. Vlad rides in this time around. He is a course and distance winner as well. Lim's Passion goes in, down in grade. He's got some good form around the likes of Mackham Lad. I mean, if he produces that form, he'll blow a few of these away off a 3-point lower mark. And Sacred Judgment in for 4th there, 8-2, 1 and 9.
I'm with number 2, Street Cry Success. Vlad Jurek gets back on this gelding. He's got 1 ride on him for 1 win. So looking for that combination to strike back here. Mim's Passion in the second, should be prime second up and dropping down from Class 3. He looks a big chance in a race like this. Sacred Judgment in for third, the last start winner. For Gerald and Seow's Claim, definitely a top 3 contender. And in for fourth, I've thrown in number 5, Top Cat. He's an out-and-out runner, and he's continuing to impress me with his runs in weeks gone by. 2, 1, 9 and 5 for race 3.
Well, that's the first 3 races here on Track Talk previewed for you. Hopefully that's given you some insight, but stay with us because coming up after the break is a hotly contested, albeit a small field, novice event. Looking forward to that one as well. Stay with us here on Track Talk.